Tomorrow, India's only daily television platform for small businesses. We bring you the right information to empower you, the MSME entrepreneur. Today on the show, two small giants in focus. First up will be Husk Power Systems, and on the other side of a break, our second small giants tonight is Auxesis. India's villages are still a far way off from being completely electrified, but one company is attempting to change that, one mini-grid at a time. Patna-based Husk Power Systems is using both biogas as well as solar power to ensure that its customers get electricity 24/7. Mansi Chouksey travelled to Patna to understand better how this company works. Take a look.
In the last 100 years, India has marked a rise of 1 degree Celsius in maximum temperature. According to a World Bank report, a 2 degrees Celsius rise in the world's average temperature will make India's summer monsoon highly unpredictable, triggering frequent droughts and floods in large parts of the country. The use of non-renewable resources for energy generation is one of the biggest factors contributing to global warming. And solving this problem is Patna-based startup Husk Power Systems. It aims to generate and distribute clean energy in Asia and Africa.
We started Husk Power Systems in 2008 in actually Bihar. I am from Bihar. So this state, I don't know then, but now has 110 million people, roughly 11 crores. And 70% of those people did not have electricity. Right, so there are many ways to do that, and given what we had seen in China back then, there were a lot of coal-fired plants that were coming live, creating pollution. People are wearing masks to move around in Shanghai. We did not want to create the same situation in India. So our idea was to use biomass feedstock because Bihar, as you may know, is heavy on agricultural side. So we do have a lot of biomass, or essentially a lot of crops that we grow. Rice is abundant here, so we utilized the waste of rice, which is rice husk. It was back then, it was mostly discarded in the field. It was burned, left to rot, and if actually rice husk is left to rot, it generates methane, which is bad for environment. So instead, we used gasification technology to convert it cleanly into electricity. Interestingly, the biomass gasification system, the waste that comes out of that process is rice husk char, right? And we don't even discard that. We actually discovered a process to convert that into incense sticks.
Tamkuhiraj, which rightly translates to rain of darkness. As the name suggests, the area suffered from frequent and long power cuts. The economy and life in this tehsil changed with the advent of a mini power grid set up by Husk Power Systems. Electricity is now available 24/7 to the villagers.
So when we started our company in 2008, right, so biomass gasification technology has a limitation. You cannot really run it 24/7. So you can run it up to 12, and then you have to go through maintenance, cleaning, other cycles. When we were serving more than 5,000 customers, mostly in Bihar, some in UP, customers were quite happy because they literally went from complete darkness to 6 to 8 hours of electricity at night time, right? So that was very dramatic for them in their life, sort of the way they lived their lives.
Husk Power Systems uses a combination of biomass gasification, solar power and batteries to supply electricity 24/7.
So we use rice husk as a fuel in our gasification process. Rice husk is available locally in this area, which is an agricultural belt. This is our gasification plant. The rice husk that we saw is now fed into the gasifier where the combustion happens. In the process of combustion, the rice husk is burned in absence of oxygen, which produces a gas called producer gas. Rest of the system is mostly for the filtration of the gas, and then the gas goes to the combustion engine where it is burnt to produce electricity. So these are our solar panels. This is a thin film based technology. Each panel is around 110 watts and the total plant has a 20 kilowatt peak capacity for production of electricity. This is the battery bank where the power is stored for future use, and this is the whole conversion system which converts the power into utilizable format. As you can see, the output feeders are currently on and the power is being supplied to the customers.
Husk Power Systems operate on a pay-as-you-go model. Using a mobile-enabled smart metering system, their model enables them to prevent energy theft.
Energy theft in India is a big problem, not just in Bihar but across the entire or pan-India. There are many numbers, but that number ranges from 20% to 40%. So every ounce of energy you inject onto the grid, you do not get paid between 20 and 40%. So it is a pan-India problem. Nobody has truly solved it. Most of the discoms suffer from this problem. We don't. So that's one of our core competencies. We really focus, what we call ourselves is a customer-centric rural utility company. And that is because we can do it using digital platform that includes smart prepaid meters and a remote management platform to do so. So what I mean by that essentially is, if you're a customer, you have to recharge or top up your meter. It's like cell phone. If you're using a prepaid card, right, you top up with say 500 rupees. You have X amount of talk time. You can continue doing so. It runs out, you run out of the talk time, right? So you cannot steal in that case. So we have a similar mechanism for smart meters that we use.
Husk Power Systems has raised a funding of $20 million this year.
So fundraising is an art, and it is also a lot of luck. So I will, yes, we did close a $20 million round with pretty large corporates and venture capital firms. Raising money, like I said, is an art. What they are really looking towards is 4 or 5 factors. For small companies, they will look at the founders / management team. They're investing in you, not in the product or service that you might have. So they really want to see if you're honest, if you can deliver what you are saying makes sense or not. So that's the first, I think, entry point. Then whatever product or service you are offering, they need a track record of that, right? Especially for large round of financing that we did, Series C in our case. So for example, in our case, we had these hybrid mini-grid assets on the ground, but we had data access on a daily basis, right? So if they ask question, you can answer, but if you prove it with the data point, or you have evidence behind the logic that you're providing, it becomes very compelling and very hard for them to say no to, right? So that essentially is business model. So you are proving the business model against the product and service that you're offering. So that's number 2. Number 3 is market size, of course. If it is $10 million market size, nobody is really going to put any money. So you really have to show the market size is pretty large, and that the money can grow exponentially if you do well. So that is very crucial to really show. You cannot say market is $100 billion and I can take 1% and bingo, you get the money. It never happens. And lastly, for our sector, which is a power sector, regulation is important. So you really have to get into the regulatory framework and show what risks are there and how do you mitigate those risks.
The company has dedicated itself to generate employment in the areas of their operation. Husk Power Systems runs training programs and provides employment to the locals.
यहाँ पर बिजली की बहुत कमी थी। यहाँ पर प्लांट को बैठने से हमें बिजली मिला और हमें रोजगार मिला।
So in our case, it is not even an option, it is a necessity because we always hire local people. So when we do these installation of a site, say a 50 kilowatt power plant, distribution network, smart meters, so it is actually a quite a skilled job to run a power plant, to manage distribution network. So in our case, it's a necessity. We cannot avoid it, but we like it because these people are curious. They are like a sponge. They actually absorb things pretty fast, and they follow the process if you train them well.
Innovation in generation of clean electricity holds immense potential for MSMEs.
I mean, in India, there are many value chain in renewable power sector, right? So megawatt scale or gigawatt scale is already taken, I guess, but there are many things that you can service in that value chain, as simple as solar panel structure, as simple as things that go into the balance of the system for these many solar projects that are happening. For MSMEs to bid on a gigawatt scale project is going to be impossible, right? We cannot match the prowess of these large companies, but there are value chain where we can fit in, as simple as smart meters. I mean, Tata Power and Adani's are not making smart meters, you can. So there are places where you can really fit in, and digital is one of them that really you can tap on.
A small step taken towards generation of clean energy can light up many remote villages in India.
Time for a break. On the other side, Auxesis is in focus on small giants. What does it do with regards blockchain? What is blockchain? All of that decoded on the other side. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You're with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow. And tonight on Small Giants, a second company in focus is Mumbai-based Auxesis. With more and more companies investing into blockchain as a means of ensuring that the financial transactions are secure, you have many startups that are now coming that are doing innovation in the field of blockchain, providing it as a service to large companies as well as to the government. One such company is Mumbai-based Auxesis. Karishma Vanjani is here to decode what blockchain for small businesses means. Take a listen.
Even though the government has considered bitcoins as illegal tenders, they have a whole different view on blockchain, a technology that's used to power these cryptocurrencies.
The government does not consider cryptocurrencies as legal tender or coin and will take all measures to eliminate the use of these crypto assets in financing illegitimate activities or as part of the payment system. The government will explore use of blockchain technology proactively for ushering in a digital economy. Distributed ledger system on the blockchain technology allows organization of any chain of records or transactions without the need of intermediaries.
But even as we're talking about adding muscle to India's digital economy, most of us don't know what's blockchain. Blockchain is a distributed ledger that records all transactions in a decentralized manner. Unlike traditional systems, it does not belong to one entity. With the whole network verifying all its transactions, cheating it becomes impossible. Blockchain is a new buzzword in the financial ecosystem. But what good can a technology whose initial users were the criminals do for the Indian economy? To demystify blockchain and all the value that it delivers, we caught up with Auxesis, a company that's one of the most 100 influential blockchain companies in the world. Akash, thanks for joining us on Leaders of Tomorrow. So, Auxesis has been one of the few startups that has realized the potential of blockchain in the early days. But a lot of MSMEs watching this show don't know what blockchain technology really is. So, for the benefit of our viewers, let's list some of the features of this technology.
So, blockchain is a decentralized, distributed and a shared database which is cryptographically connected, that all the rows or all the transactions is cryptographically linked to each other. So the features of blockchain comes to be, number one, the increased capacity. So with the legacy system where we struggle with the problem of increasing the server size whenever we have more number of users to be bring in, with blockchain, as more people come in, the scalability of server increases. Number 2, transparency. With all the previous models we have been seeing, always the data has been flown through a centralized system which has the access or power to counterfeit it. With the blockchain, every party or every recipient of the network has equal access of all the data. Number 3, immutability, which basically means the data once put it in the blockchain cannot be corrupted and cannot be counterfeited.
Okay, so we understand that blockchain is the buzzword right now, but what is Auxesis doing in this space? How are you innovating in this space?
So Auxesis is a blockchain infrastructure company which has been founded in 2014. We build and deploy blockchain networks for large enterprises, SMEs and corporates. We have been working with technology giants like HP and IBM. We are working with some of the largest state governments in the country and some of the largest manufacturing companies like GVK and Pidilite. When we started, we went into seeing that what are the major problems that despite of talking for like 4 to 5 years now, we are still at a place where the mass stream or the mainstream adoption of the technology is not there in place. People have been trying to develop a blockchain using some other applications, not on the frameworks. So people have been starting using Bitcoin and wanted to make it a financial transaction or make it a supply chain code or make it a logistics application. So this was the number one issue, that people have been trying to build a different application. So people have been trying to extract application out of an application. So we are building up the blockchain infrastructure. We are a blockchain infrastructure company which is catering to the problems that are lacking and leading to the delay in the mainstream adoption of the blockchain.
So blockchain has been the backbone of Bitcoins, a cryptocurrency that's widely unpopular because of its unregulated nature. So where else can this technology be used? Which other sectors can utilize blockchain?
The blockchain can majorly be applied into the supply chain industry, where the tracking of products, anti-counterfeiting of product, which is a major issue today, can be solved in. Financial services, another sector where we are seeing a lot of frauds happening today. These technologies can come in to picture which can provide a better traceability and auditability. Third, and I think which is going to be the most important sector which will be transformed, would be the e-governance. A better security for the citizens.
Financial transactions, clearing payments are few of the benefits that we listed of blockchain. But any businessman or any entrepreneur watching this show would certainly feel that he can get the same service through a financial institution. Why do entrepreneurs today need to incorporate blockchain technology into their day-to-day operations?
So blockchain technology improves what already our legacy system provides. When we talk about adopting blockchain as a medium to do the financial transactions, what it means is that your back-end operations is now in a more secure and in a more easy to audit form. Maybe the day-to-day businessman will not realize what are the benefits of blockchain they are getting directly in the front end, but what they will get if the system behind their currency is implementing blockchain, what they will get is less manpower, which is right now being utilized in the entire process of making a financial institution secure. And all of these will lead to the cutting down of transaction cost.
Although the applications of blockchain technology can transform many systems, but for a man on the street to realize the true potential of this technology, it's fairly difficult given that this technology is complex. So what is Auxesis as a startup doing to create awareness regarding this technology?
Of course, we understand that the technology is new, and that's the reason why last year Auxesis launched the India's first blockchain lab, which is working in collaboration with the entrepreneurship cell of IIT Bombay. We are organizing conferences, seminar, workshops all across the country with different colleges been participating in, so that the students and entrepreneurs for tomorrow can know in advance what the technology is and what the technology can bring in to the table.
So what's the cost of incorporating blockchain technology into your systems?
So as long as an entrepreneur has built up an application over our network, that's completely free. Once they want to communicate with another network, which is the USP of the Auxesis infrastructure that we are deploying, then they will have to pay it as per go. That means the number of data they want to send across the networks, they will have to send in the form of aux chips.
So how have the profit margins of Auxesis been?
So since we are right now in the process of scaling our applications, where we have deployed separate teams for building our new products, but still our profit margin is today anything between 20% to 30%.
Blockchain technology with its feature to transform the way we interact can come as a silver bullet for the Indian government. So how are you helping the government to go more digital?
We have worked on Aadhaar and Bhamasha system to transport and make a true copy of immutable record of all the Indian identities. There are another segment where we work on, where we see the technology is right now being developed, like GST. GST is in its nascent stage. A lot of contracts has been released, and so very soon we will have open APIs and services to use GST networks as well. There we again see as a collaborative approach that how blockchain can function it.
But Akash, let's be honest out here. Even though the government is backing blockchain, there's not been widespread adoption of it. And India is far from that currently.
Right.
So what is your message for entrepreneurs looking to innovate in this space, looking to enter this space? Do you think the time is right?
Yes, I will see the time is definitely right, because you will have to come in early so that you can go in big. Whenever we have a new technology born, we see that there is a lot of opportunities that can be brought in, and that those opportunities are easy to cater in the beginning.
The blockchain industry continues to grow as more and more people become aware of this technology. The possibilities of this sector seems to be endless, but whether it lives up to its promise remains to be seen.
That's our show tonight. If you want to be featured here on the show like Husk Power or Auxesis, here's how you get in touch. Let us know about your company. leadersoftomorrowtimesgroup.com is our email ID. On social media, reach us at Sunanda_J. That's my personal Twitter handle, or our official Twitter handle, LOT_ET Now. You can also reach us on our Facebook page, Leaders of Tomorrow on ET Now. That's our show. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.